Rise and Grind DMV. Happy Sunday. We are waking up to mostly clear skies across the area, but we're going to be tracking rain as we end out your Sunday. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that forecast up next.
Also in DC News Now, a car drives into a crowd in Maryland, hurting 11 people, including children. We'll have the latest from police in Bladensburg. Tens of thousands of people in DC joining millions across the country in thousands of No Kings rallies. Plus, a new biotech center opening up in Maryland to help treat cancer.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Sunday morning, everyone. Thank you so much for watching DC News Now. I'm Susan Tran. Let's get right outside on this gorgeous Sunday morning as we look at this beautiful sunrise over the Capitol. I don't know, a slice of cantaloupe is our background here.
Yeah.
And meteorologist Brittany Ward joining us today, almost as spectacular as yesterday.
Yes, you know, we are going to be tracking rain as well as wind as we head through the day today, but not a bad start. Sunrise today is at 7:22, so we're about 22 minutes away from the sun officially rising across the area, but radar right now showing you up and down the East Coast. We are holding on to those quiet conditions, but that's going to change as we head through the day today. We head further off to the west, out towards the Ohio Valley. Notice they are seeing some showers at this hour, all thanks to a cold front that is slowly pushing its way through that area. This exact cold front will be moving into our region this evening, and that's going to be sparking up some showers. Could also hear a few rumbles of thunder as well. It's also going to be providing us with some gusty winds across the DMV. So again, keep that in mind, especially if you are going to be out later on this evening. Temperature-wise, not a bad start, especially if you're heading out right now for maybe sunrise service or just heading out for breakfast. We're sitting in the upper 50s in DC, 57. You head over there to Lexington Park, and highs today rebounding pretty nicely, getting back into the upper 70s. So keep it in the air. We'll talk more about the timing of the rain and what to expect up next.
Looking forward to that, Brittany. Thank you. Now to that breaking news we are following out of Maryland. A hit-and-run crash in Bladensburg hurting 11 people, including 7 children, at this child's birthday party. Investigators saying the driver crashed into this tent that was filled with people, then got out of the car and ran off. The victims were all rushed to several hospitals, and police say the children hurt range in age from 2 to 9.
It's sad, you know, like the fact that people have to involve other pedestrians in their accidents, you know, when maybe they were drinking, you know, like it's you don't have to involve other people.
Investigators say the closed-off stretch of Annapolis Road has since reopened, but the search for the driver continues. And now to a deadly shooting in the district where a man had been shot several times in Southeast. It happened last night on 15th Place. Investigators say that he was rushed to the hospital where he died. If you have any information on the suspect, you are urged to call police. Massive crowds in the DMV for the No Kings rallies, and they were happening, as organizers say. 200,000 people came out in D.C. alone. They gathered to protest against President Trump and his policies. And for many who are out at these rallies, they say they're just really worried about democracy and the direction the country is headed.
I'm trying to support the maintenance of all of our rights as Americans, the right to assembly, the right to speech, the right to vote, and the right to be part of this democracy.
I feel like our country is sinking into an authoritarianism, and I think that Americans who love democracy need to get out here and protest.
Organizers say 7 million people came out to the 2,700 different No King rallies across the country, and this is the second in a series of these protests. The first one happened in June to counter the military parade honoring 250th birthday of the Army that coincided with President Trump's 79th birthday. It is day 19 in the government shutdown. Federal workers will most likely now be headed into week 4 without being paid. DC News Now's Dave Laval has more on the impacts that this government impasse is having on travelers.
Most federal civilian workers will miss their first full paycheck either October 24th or 28th, depending on their agency. And that includes many of them right here at Reagan National and the nation's other airports.
I do worry about it, and I've been hearing about it.
Delays and cancellations in the sky over the DMV as air traffic controllers have called in sick during the shutdown of the federal government.
I really don't think it's best for anybody that it's shut down.
Controllers are deemed essential federal employees and are required to report to work. But the partial pay and looming missed first paycheck have added to the financial strain they face, along with increased stress. That led to a brief protest Tuesday at the airport.
When I get off my shift today, do I have to go and drive Uber tonight? So that way I can put gas in the car or food on the table for my family.
Doors are closed at all the Smithsonian museums as leftover money from last year ran out last weekend. The National Zoo is one of the sites impacted by the stalemate. That means no boo at the zoo this year.
What is happening? Why are little kids having to bear the burden of political mistakes?
Our partners at The Hill report the U.S. Supreme Court is closed to the public until further notice after it ran out of money Saturday. But the Supreme Court will remain open for official business. Nearly 1.5 million active duty U.S. service personnel will not miss their paychecks. President Trump ordered the Pentagon on Wednesday to pay those troops. At Reagan National Airport, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
All right, Dave, thank you. And you can stay on top of the government shutdown by waking up with Sunrise on the Hill. Every weekday morning from 6 until 9, hosts Hillary Howard and Corey Smith will have the latest news and in-depth analysis from a whole team of reporters spread out across the DMV. Developing now in Western Maryland, a controversial data center project just cleared this major hurdle in Frederick County. The Planning Commission approving the new zoning changes needed for the proposal to move forward. But as DC News Now's Stephen Cohen discovered, it happened despite really strong pushback from local families.
Right now, a special zoning plan for a massive data center has been approved by the Frederick County Council, and it's up to the Planning Commission to decide what happens next. A planned 2,500-acre data center in a rural stretch of the county would support the rapid growth in digital infrastructure. But the County Planning Commission heard objections over noise and pollution. Karen Cannon runs a grassroots group opposed to the project.
I think we need to understand the impacts of an industry that uses the amount of energy and water that this one does.
But Ryan Ambrose with the Plumbers and Steamfitters Local says they share those environmental concerns.
We know the procedures and we know what we need to do as far as, what's going on the site so that we make sure we're not contaminating the environment.
John Michael Bailey was at today's hearing. The marketing executive owns a 30-acre farm in the county and says the data center proposal takes a balanced approach to community concerns.
It's a brownfield site. It's the best use of this site. The overlay protects the rest of the county. It's only 1% of the county.
As for Frederick resident Kate Taylor, finding that middle ground is the real challenge here.
Great source of revenue. It's huge tax advantage, so I can understand the temptation, but not if it destroys our environment.
The next step, consideration of a special zoning designation, a process that could take a year. Reporting from Frederick, Stephen Cohen, DC News Now.
We're going to stay in Maryland now, and there are some really frustrated families in Montgomery County. The superintendent says it'll cost more than $5 billion to fix roughly 230 buildings with mold issues or broken HVAC systems. There are also 6 schools that are so old they need to be fully replaced. Parents at Magruder High School say the concerns have been building.
So we have some basic issues with ADA compliance. We have issues with leaks, with mold, with moisture, which I think are happening everywhere. The auditorium ceiling came down last spring during the school musical. We did not have air conditioning last spring during the week of AP testing.
Yikes. The superintendent is recommending the capital improvements budget to nearly double to $2.7 billion. He says that'll help fix the issues faster than they're currently able to tackle them. Also in Montgomery County, a Toys for Tots program is again in trouble. The organization is saying it needs a miracle to ensure that they can deliver joy to local children. The warehouse used in Gaithersburg for last year's toy drive has been rented out. And while organizers search for new plays, that means they're delaying this year's collection that normally gets started on October 1st. Toys for Tots is saying that they brought gifts to a record 43,000 children in Montgomery County last year, but because of the federal firings and government shutdown, organizers expect that number to double.
If I don't find a spot, there won't be any giveaways to these children this year because there won't be any spot to hold them.
The hope is to get presents out to those families between December 4th through the 17th, but again, they do need the warehouse to gather the toys before that can happen.
I am the proud principal of the School Without Walls High School.
A major honor for a DC high school. U.S. News and World Report has named the School Without Walls one of the top schools in the country, touting nearly all students meet or exceed expectations in English and more than 90% in math.
I believe that the success of our school is a reflection of the dedication, hard work, and sacrifice of everyone at School Without Walls.
We're serious about public education in Washington, D.C., and we have the receipts.
School leaders also saying almost all seniors graduate within 4 years, plus nearly every 12th grader is an AP or dual enrollment course. 7:10 on this Sunday morning. Brittany, hopefully we have enough time throughout today to get some outdoor activities in.
Yeah, I would definitely say if you want to be out and about today, definitely do it early, because tonight that's when we're going to be tracking some showers and storms across the region. Stepping out the door right now, we are starting to see a bit of a light breeze. Winds are still ushering from the south. That's pumping in that warm air. We're seeing winds gusting upwards to about 14 miles per hour here in the nation's capital. So what to expect as we head within the next 24 hours through the morning, mostly sunny and mild start. We start to see a few more clouds this afternoon with showers and storms beginning to pick up, and then more showers to talk about tonight. So keep it here. We'll have a breakdown of the timing, Susan, up next.